Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Throwback Thursday with Brian and Randy here.
You had me
Uh,
back. I'm excited, man. I'm glad to be back for another one.
yeah, you passed the test. We're going to keep you on for a few more videos. But I got a good one today. This one was a property we recently sold out in the Far East Side. And the funny thing is, we kind of just been through some bad things with houses with pools and abandoned vehicles, but we said, hey, we probably shouldn't buy properties like this. And we bought this one, and it had both. It had a pool with a cover on it. We don't know what's going on. And not an abandoned car, but an abandoned RV that's just looked like Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation
Yep.
sitting out there. But we took it on. We got a good deal on it. Looked like something we could do. Ended up, we were able to sell it pretty quickly. It's like I said, the Far East Side, so there was a lot of interest there. But Brian, why don't you kind of give the backstory how we got the deal, and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, definitely. So this one was on Osceola. Good property that we picked up, just direct to seller. Our acquisition guy James, he did a great job on this one. Just they reached out to us. I think it was just a lead that I think they called us from one of our mailers or a TV commercial, one of those two, and they basically just kind of said, hey, this is where we need to be on price. They were kind of giving every wholesaler in town a call. Actually, after we agreed to terms from it, I got calls from two of our other competitors that we're good friends with and stuff, and said like, hey, can we pick up that contract from you? And things like that. And I almost sold it to one of those guys just for like kind of assigned it to them over for like maybe $10,000 or something. And realized like, hey, we might as well just wait it out and see what happens. If they're that interested in it, we should, go ahead and hang on to it and see what happens with us. And we were able to go ahead and close on this property and get it cleaned out. And then and then Randy, you kind of sold it pretty quickly from like you had quite a few interested buyers and things. But it's kind of funny is you brought up that in your kind of intro there of some things that we've kind of had issues with and we've been really conservative about is if a property has a pool, whether it's in ground or even above ground, sometimes we just stay away from stuff like that, or we're really conservative on our numbers. Number one, if it's in ground, like we have no idea what's going on with the pool itself. If like this one had a cover over it, so we had no idea like how the concrete was all the way around it. Whether we didn't know if we had to get a pool person out there to inspect it, all that stuff. We kind of did our own due diligence by walking around, taking as many pictures, looking at it and stuff like that. But yeah, so it ended up being on a pretty good property for us. And on the other side too, with even like an above ground pool, we're conservative on that because basically if there's an above ground pool, it's basically number one, it's a liability because we are closing on all of our properties. We own all of our properties. So it's a liability to us. There's gonna be a little bit more insurance on it probably. But then more than likely you're going to pay, that person that's going to buy it is going to pay for it to be taken away. So usually if we do buy something like that, we're going to go ahead and take it apart and haul it away anyway when we do our trash haul and stuff. And then this one kind of had a double whammy. Had a big camper out in front that there were no keys, there were no title, anything like that. It looked like, I think there were probably like holes in it on the bottom from like mice coming up through it or whatever. But so those are two things that we always factor in, and we're conservative with our numbers of like, hey, if it's a pool, we got to be a little bit lower. If there's, a vehicle we're going to have to move, it has to be an extra grand probably or so to get that moved away. And it was a camper. So we're like, we don't even know what we can do with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we picked it up. Like I said, James did a great job of just some back and forth with sellers. Sellers are super nice people. They were moving out of town. So they gave us a call and needed to move pretty quickly and needed some cash. So we were who exactly they needed. So it was great. So Randy, what happened on the buy side, man, or on the sell side?
Yeah. So I got a lot of phone calls. We put our sign out there, and I was getting calls pretty much straight off the bat. And it kind of just came down to one of those scenarios like, hey, who can send me the best offer? And we're probably going to roll with it. And these buyers that we got, they were cool with leaving the RV, and they weren't scared of the pool. So it's really cool in this situation too, because I believe that this guy who bought it he's gonna fix it up, obviously, but he's gonna move his family in there. So we sold it to someone who's gonna probably make some memories there, and all that good stuff. But yeah, like what you said, it's kind of the kind of learning thing here is we see properties like that. Just factor in some extra cash that you're probably going to need to set aside or work into your price to take care of removing a vehicle or removing a pool, things like that, and just be kind of conservative but still competitive. So
Yeah.
good deal.
The way I look at this is honestly, this is one of those deals that if we just had this under a contract and we were assigning it to an investor, we probably wanted it. This was, I mean, for this was like a $25,000 profit for us. If we were assigning this to an investor, we probably would not have made that profit at all. I
No.
think the fact that we were able to buy it and list it and basically wholesale this one is why we ended up making, the profit that we did. That the, agents and buyers were able to walk through it, we were able to kind of do the highest and best from, we knew this right away. This is going to be a retail sell. So this is one that if you are a wholesaler, you got to kind of look at what your product is. If I was in that position where I just had this under contract, I would look at somebody that does like do some type of wholesaling, and I would look at them and say, hey, can we partner on this deal? Can we JV on this deal? Because I know this is not necessarily an investor property. This is more of, hey, this is going to be a wholesale lead. We're going to sell this on the market. This was that perfect case scenario for that. So you could have made probably a $10,000 property or profit for, being able to just assign the contract and okay. Yeah. But this was a great one to, partner up with somebody, like I said, just kind of more of a wholesale lead. And we knew that right from the start. And that's why we hung on to it and made a pretty good profit on it, even after the clean out, even after the agent fees and all that stuff. So
yeah, it worked out for everyone. So awesome, man. Anything else?
That's it, man. So, all right. So I'm in for the series for this whole month. So I'm excited. Let's keep it rolling, man.
All right, we will. All right, guys. Stay tuned. Next Thursday, you'll see Brian again on Throwback Thursday. Have a good